All right. Good afternoon. So, session after lunch will be a little challenging, but not for Ashish, uh, I guess. So, yeah, the next session will be on the topic leveraging channel to scale businesses globally, channels as a route to market. This will be taken by Ashish Kapahi. He is the Executive Director and CEO of Gates APAC. I would love to welcome you. We are a little early to start, but I think towards the end it will help us to, to work out certain things that you have mentioned. So I will keep that surprise there, and I will hand over to you, and it's all yours. All the best.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. All right, good afternoon, everyone. So we have people who are quite alert here. I guess I had a heavy lunch, so that's why I was probably not as alert as you guys. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with a presentation for the next 45 minutes. What I want to do is I want to entertain you. And I want you to learn from whatever way I want to entertain you. So treat me like your entertainer. Although the topic that I'm going to talk about is very boring, it's channels. So let me start off with a few questions. How many of you know channels here, who understand channels here? Just raise your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, good. How many of you are serial entrepreneurs here? How many of you are serial entrepreneurs? Okay, how many of you are entrepreneurs here? How many of you have startups? Very good. That's a very encouraging number. Okay. Now, as startups, how many of you have used channels? You have used channels. Beautiful. Great. So we'll start off with some very basic stuff about channels. But before that, I want you guys to repeat something after me. It might sound a little kiddish, but I think it'll be good to harmonize the crowd here so that everybody is on the same page. So repeat after me what I say. When you think the way you think, you will do what you will always do. And you will get what you always got. Can you say that again, the whole thing? When you think the way you think, you will do what you've always done, and you will get what you've always got. So what do we have to do? Easy. The very basics. Okay, this is what 1,000 feet above the ground a channel looks like. Now you have a vendor on the top, you have a distributor or a partner, layer of partners, and a customer. Now you can bring some variation to this, and you can have a partner and no distributor, or you can go directly to the end customer. This is very simplifying the whole thing. You know, this is in a linear fashion. If I said I have a hard drive that I want to sell today, this is how it would probably get sold. But if it was a solution that I wanted to sell, or a complex algorithm that I wanted to deploy, this would not be the way. So the channel is not as simple as it looks like, but this is essentially the main frame where you need to understand what a channel looks like. Anybody has any questions? Anybody has any abbreviations to this? Anybody can suggest any improvements to this? Okay. Many of you may think that why do I need a channel? I have a great solution. I can go and sell it directly. Great. So, is there somebody here who has a great solution and he's selling it directly into end customers? Can you raise your hand? Great solution selling directly to customers. Come on. So what do you do? Can you get up and tell me what you do?
Personal products for kids. Personalized product for kids. Products for kids. Storybooks, worksheets, name labels. Okay. Kid.
Personalized products for kids.
Yeah.
Okay. And you sell that directly to kids, their parents.
Their parents.
Why don't you sell it to schools?
We are planning it, but
To sell it through schools.
schools.
Okay, so the school would be your channel.
Yeah.
Would be your channel. Okay. You think you'll get more success selling it to schools than
Yeah.
selling directly?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. So let me tell you why the channel is so important. And I'll give you an example of a classic market, which is the US market. In the US, there are 365,000 ICT businesses. ICT businesses, which includes everybody. Hardware, software, solutions, which also includes resellers. So there could be resellers as big as an Ingram Micro, which is the world's largest distributor, or a small system integrator who is a 7-man size. The number of the resellers or channels is 135,000 out of the 365,000 businesses. So the channel is important, and there is a reason why the channel is important. The reason why channel is important is because it adds that value that you as an organization will not be able to add. And that is where I'm going to show you the next slide. So it gets more and more complex. You know, the first slide was easy. The second slide is slightly more difficult. The ones after this will get even more difficult. But let's understand this. The elements here are very simple. So you've got roles, you've got business model, and you've got a margin model. In your role, is the channel acting as an extension of a vendor? Or is the channel acting as a product compiler, service provider, solution integrator, or a customer advocate? So they're actually advocating your product. And based on the business model, are you selling the product, or is there a service provisioning there that's happening? Nearer to the product, nearer to the customer. Low value, high value. And this is the margin that changes depending on where the channel is and what contribution it does. Is this making sense to all of you? Is there a question that you want to ask me? Why should I give my channel so much margin? That's the question you're going to ask me.
Actually, I didn't get the full picture of what is that nearer to product, nearer to customer, so what it is like.
So, who is nearer to the product? You as a vendor, as a technology owner, are you nearer to the product, or are you also nearer to the customer, so your end customer? If you are not nearer to the end customer, you don't have a relationship with the end customer, and the relationship is owned by the channel, then the channel commands more premium, right? Because there is a cost involved there in managing that relationship. You as an organization today may have 20 customers. all your time value is invested in managing those 20 customers. You have an opportunity for another 100 customers, but you cannot manage them because you don't have time. So who's going to manage it for you? It's your channel that manages them. That's where the value of the channel comes in. So understand this, the channel, in my last slide, where I showed you this was a simple form of a channel in a linear structure. This applies when you have a simple product which requires low touch, and you can sell it with a 2%, 5%, 10% margin. But where the channel requires a high touch, the whole margin game changes. And you have to understand the value additioning that the channel brings in. And the value that the channel brings in is in this form. As an extension of the vendor. So they may be adding on bits and pieces on what you are selling, which creates more value. And that's why the end customer wants it. Are they a product compiler? So yours is one product, but the end customer wants a solution. He doesn't want one product. That's the value he's bringing on board. Service provider. So what happens after you've deployed a solution? Somebody needs to service them, right? Solution integrator, multiple solution integrator, basket of solutions, and a customer advocate. So the next cycle where the product or the service has to be refreshed, why should they go back with your service or with your product and not some other product, competition's product? So there's an advocacy which applies there. Okay. Story time. I think I'm boring you guys with this, so let me tell you a story. I come from Singapore, and we have great universities there. So one of the university there is called NTU, National Technology University, which has about 30,000 students. They have about 4,000 startups in their ecosystem. And they spend about $630 million every year in research and development. And a large portion of that goes into the startups as well. So I had a friend from the industry who had recently joined them. And his job was to understand what is happening with the $630 million being spent, why they don't have any unicorns coming out of the university. So he was given a set of 20 best solutions which were patented. And for 6 months he sat down on the solutions and he was scratching his head. And one day he called me. He says, Ashish, I've got these lovely solutions, fantastic products. But the problem is that there is no problem. I can't find a problem for these solutions. So the point I'm trying to make is, why try to find a solution where there is no problem? So how many of you have solutions that have no problems? So all of you have solutions for problems? All of you? That's an exercise. Remember that. That's my first story. My second story. Don't try to solve a problem that does not exist. That's my first point. My second point. You are all on LinkedIn. All of you. On an average, LinkedIn has about 6.5 million jobs that are posted. 6.5 million jobs. So if I want to apply today, I have a choice of 6.5 million jobs. Unfortunately, I'm still unemployable, you know. So anyways, out of those, 2.3 million jobs have one particular skill set that they're looking for. Do you know what the skill set is? It's easy. Come on, it's very easy. Communication. Crystal clear communication. We want somebody who communicates well. Written and verbal communication. Written and verbal communication. This one particular skill set was seen 23 times more than any other skill set. So my second point, first point, problem. Don't try to solve a problem that does not exist. Secondly, your communication has to be effective. Crystal clear communication. That's where most of us fail. Because even if we have a solution, we are not able to explain what we are trying to solve. And that's where we are not able to take our solution to the customers. So crystal clear communication. My third story, third point. Bear with me 1 second, I have something here. I have a book here that I want to show them. Okay, for the second point that I made, I have a book here which is called the One-Page Communicator. So if you want a copy of this, write to me, I'll send you a copy of this. I'll post you a copy of this. It teaches you how you can effectively communicate in one page. So you don't have to have pages and pages, but any communication that you need to have, you can concise it, crisp it, and send it out. Okay, my third point. On 12th of January 2007, there was a violinist playing a violin at the Washington DC station. And about 12 to 1500 people passed him, and some of them donated some money. So about 7 of them donated some money. He had about 63 odd dollars that that fellow got. And this was in about 45 minutes or an hour. The same person 2 days ago was playing in a theater in Boston, and the average price of the ticket was $100, and he raised $3.5 million for one session. The point I'm making, that there is a right time and a right place for what you do, and that is very important. You may have the best solution, but if the timing and the place is not right, you're out of luck. So I made 3 points. Can somebody explain to me that, or repeat the 3 points? Don't try to solve a problem that does not exist. Right? The second point, crisp communication. Read the one-page communicator. Third point, right time, right place. Now this applies also in the channel business. So you may have the best solution, but if you don't have the right channel partner, at the right time, at the right place, it will not work. So that exercise is very important. Okay, channel development. This is the boring part. That's why, I'm also not very excited in talking about this. Strategies for success. Now, strategy as a word is one of the most abused words that I've come across. Strategy this, strategy that. What is strategy? What is strategy? Can somebody explain to me what a strategy is? I mean, we've got 60 people in this room. Just one hand. Somebody explain to me what a strategy means. Okay, who has not used strategy? All of you have used the word strategy. Is there somebody who has not used the word strategy? One hand. Then explain to me, please.
Strategy basically means planning for your own goals, but in a way where you first of all identify what all resources you have and where you want to start and where you want to end, and draw a timeline which is much more acceptable in terms of reaching that goal. So all of those planning with the constraints that you have is usually the strategy.
Perfect. Perfect. So the word I use instead of strategy is planning. Planning. And plan with a moving goalpost, because the strategy can never be perfect. And the strategy can never have a goalpost. It has to keep moving. A moving strategy, a moving plan is a strategy. That's what a strategy is. Now let me explain something to you. There is never a perfect strategy. A strategy is like a circle that you're trying to fit into a square, or a square that you're trying to fit into the circle. So there is never a perfect strategy. Remember that? And that applies also for channels. Your channels are not fixed. So today you may have the best channel, but remember it's a moving goalpost. Tomorrow it may not be the best channel for you. So you have to keep evaluating them, you have to keep looking at their performance, you have to keep making sure that they're on the knees, etc., etc., etc. And I'm going to come to some stuff about channel. So this is a customer journey. We have broken it up into how you engage a channel. It gets a little bit more complex than the first two slides, you know. But it's easy to understand. And I'll explain this to you. So we have 4 stages. We have a formulation stage, we have a pre-transact stage, we have a transact stage, and we have a post-transact stage. Now, let's look at the first stage. Your first stage is the stage where you have advocacy. Advocacy is before and during prospecting. That's the formulation of your strategy. Am I doing check here? No. No, okay. Okay. Have you all looked at this slide? Is it complex, or am I only saying it is complex? Is it easy for you to understand? Okay, in that case, let me just go through with you on the various stages. So, formulation is where advocacy comes in, but advocacy also comes in after you have done the whole cycle. Then you have an awareness creation, a consideration stage, an evaluation stage. Now all these stages are where your channel is working with you. Remember that. In your customer journey, this is where your channel is involved with you. Then you have a purchase stage. And after purchase, you have an experience stage, loyalty stage, and back to advocacy. When you engage a channel, you have to consider all these things in formulating a playbook for a channel. How many of you have playbooks? Playbooks? Anybody else who has a playbook here? You have a business, you don't have a playbook? A playbook is a book which teaches you how to play. Your business is a play. So, you know, when you're playing tennis, there is a way you play tennis, right? Or the game. Or when you play cricket, there are rules how you play cricket, right? A business has similar rules. And those rules are called a playbook. Because it's not you, but anybody else who's in the business with you also understand the rules of the business. That's what a playbook is. It's as simple as that. Okay, my next slide. And this is the building blocks of a playbook. So I'm going to run you through some very, very boring slides, which you can read yourself. But I'll also try to add a little bit more value there. The first one is geo-selection. Whenever you are going to the market, you have to select a few territories because every geo, every city, every country is different from the other. I'll give you an example now because I come from Singapore. So I'll give you an example of Southeast Asia market, ASEAN market. Why I would select ASEAN market? If I was you, why would I select ASEAN market after the Indian market? And my pitch to that is that ASEAN has 700 million people. It's a market that is growing at about 5% per annum. It is going to be a $6.5 trillion market by 2030. So it's a bigger market than India, remember. So the opportunity is more. Culturally, we are close to them. Geopolitically, we are very close to them. So why not ASEAN? Now, when you go to ASEAN, ASEAN is not one market. It has 10 countries. Which market would you select? So you'll have to look at Indonesia, 270 million people. Thailand, 100 million people. Philippines, 100 million people. Vietnam, 100 million people. Malaysia, 30 million people. You know, first you look at the size of the population. Then you look at how easy is it to go into the market. So I'm coming to all those parameters one by one. So first, selection of market is very important, and it has to be 1 or 2 or 3 markets. You cannot just say that blanket I'm going into all the markets. You have to select every market that you're going in. Your partnerships have to be built around those markets. Secondly, localization of needs. Every market needs localization. Even in India, you know, when you're going from north to south or south to west, the market needs a bit of localization. You can't be selling a solution, what you're selling here, into northeast or J&K. The needs are different. So you have to customize the solution accordingly. Sometimes you have to customize languages also, right? I mean, here, your language is different. Across the state, you go into Tamil Nadu, you need Tamil. Then you need Kannada. Depending on which state you are in, Maharashtra, Marathi, you know, so the language changes. That's customization and localization of needs. Okay, the next point is packaging. How many of you have used Tally? Accounting software? How many of you use Tally? Yeah, so we have few people using Tally here. I was made to understand that the interface has become very old now. And then they need to upgrade the interface. So when I say packaging, I don't just mean the physical packaging. You know, your phones used to come in a big box. Now they come in a smaller box. So, you know, the phones now look nicer. Similarly, your UI UX interface that you have with customer needs to also improve, needs to also change. So you have to consider UI UX. And it's important because a great solution is good to have. But if the customer doesn't feel good using it, then it's no point in having that solution. So that's the second thing. Now these are all related to channel. Understand, because the channel carries your product, these are important for the channel to see. The next point is about selection of the partner. Now, the largest distributor doesn't mean the best partner. You have to select a partner based on your requirements. And I will give you an example here, a very specialized example. Excuse me. We were working with a company called Future Master. It's a French company which has a solution that you deploy on top of SAP. And that improves the efficiency of the entire solution by about 8 to 10%. So if an SAP brings an efficiency of 80% in a business, this helps you go to 88% or maybe 90%. So their requirement for a partner was this. One, it needs to be an SAP solution provider. 2, they need to have minimum of 200 people in the business, managing the business. They need to have a customer base of minimum 100 deployed customers, active customers. They need to be minimum of a $50 million in revenue size, because their solutions were $1 million, $2 million plus. So these were the requirements, plus geo requirement. Okay, they wanted somebody who was based in Australia, local in Australia, locally incorporated. This is the level of detail that you need to go in selecting a partner. Then only your partners are successful. And why did they do this? Because they knew that there were 5,000 customers in Australia who were using SAP, and they needed roughly about 20 odd partners to be able to manage that entire customer base. So they wanted the top 20 partners using or selling SAP. This is the level of details you need to go, and you work backwards in selecting a partner. Okay, so while you're structuring your details or deals with a partner, there are a few things you need to understand. 1, exclusivity. Do you want to give your partner exclusivity? Are they big enough? Will they be able to manage all your business? That's the important part. What geo are you giving them exclusivity for? Is it a state you're giving them, city you're giving them, the country you're giving them? And who are the other partners available in that market? What does the competition look like? Secondly, are you giving them exclusivity based on their specialization? So maybe they sell a part of your solution and not the whole thing. So you're looking at a generalist or a specialist. And are you looking at a broadliner distributor, or you're looking at a specialist distributor? I mean, these are things that one has to consider while looking at a partner. And then is the logistics and execution part of it. So who's going to take care of the billing cycle? Who's going to take care of the financial part of it? What your terms will be? Your legal and compliance. If you're selling cross-border, who manages that? Who manages the customs part of it? All of those things have to be discussed in detail before you go and appoint a partner. Most importantly, there is nothing like a short-term partnership. In distribution and when you're scaling through channels, your relationships have to be long-term. Then only you make money. Sometimes you need to lose to win. So there may be times when you will have to support it and you may actually lose money. But you have to understand the long-term. You have to take a long-term view and understand the long-term consequences of having partnerships. Okay, last but not least, you have to understand the competitive landscape of partnerships. What does your competition look like? Who does your competition use? Now, without having that, it's difficult for you to gauge whether, this is the right kind of partner you're going ahead with. A very basic competitive landscape that we all make when we go into market. Every business has this. I'm sure you made it. You have this competitive landscape, for your business. Anybody who doesn't understand this landscape? It's very basic. So if you look at here, weak offering, strong offering, leaders. As you go towards leaders, you go from challengers to contenders to strong performers to leaders. And then you have market presence, and you have stronger strategy, weaker strategy on the left side. This is how you map. Now, When it comes to end customer, most of us do this mapping. I mean, I would know who my competition is as a brand. Do you know who your competition is as a brand? Yep. Anybody who doesn't? Anybody who doesn't know who the competition is? Everybody knows. Okay, let me rephrase the question. How many of you know who your competition is? Please raise your hand. You don't know who your competition is? Sir? You don't know who your competition is? Your hand is. Okay, so we do this mapping for our competition. But do we do this for our channels? Who is our channel competing with? Which are the brands that the other channels are carrying? If you do this mapping, you would have done an overall mapping because you would know who your competition is selling through and what are the strengths of their distributors or their channel partners, and whether are they likely to be your partners in future. Okay, pricing policy. So do you want a tier 1 pricing strategy? Do you want a tier 2 pricing strategy? And this goes back to the first slide that I had shown you. You know, how near are you to the customer? What value do you bring on to the customer? That's where your pricing gets defined. Timing and budget planning. This is very important. And this is very important because you have to ensure that you're launching a product or a solution at the right time, at the right place. Wrong timing, a timing of festivity when all the banks are closed and you have a BFSI solution that you're launching, could be a disaster. You know, similarly for all the other solutions, you need to make sure that the timing is right, and most often it's your channel partner who will guide you on this because they have a stake in this. Customer experience. That's the first journey that I took you through. That whole cycle of customer journey, how you manage customer journey, you need to start thinking of this before you even plan to go into the market. Okay, I'm going to skip this. This is essentially spending more time with the channel partners. And like I said, my slides were very boring. So let me get you to where I started. And this is an interesting bit. So if you all remember the first 2 slides that I showed you, I brought you back to the same thing now. Formulation, pre-transact, transact, post-transact, share and champion. What value is everybody bringing on the channel, on the table? So you've got vendor, distributor, reseller, customer, and that's the offering. Awareness, consideration, evaluation, ordering, installing, learning, that's the part. That's where most of us fail, learn. We fail to learn. Using, problem solving, and experience the sharing. I'm going to give you some examples of vendors who we have recently worked with and who have created some success stories. So the first one is a company called BPE. Do you guys know who they are? Best Power Equipments. They are into power equipments. So your UPSs and other stuff. They launched Southeast Asia market about 6 months ago. And in less than 6 months, they have started about 4 markets. Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. And the reason why they were able to do that was because they had a crisp, clear playbook in place. they had taken into account all the aspects that I talked about here in building a playbook. The next one is ZobSmart. ZobSmart is a company started by ex-AWS guys. They digitally transform retail businesses and take them on cloud. So somebody like a 7-Eleven, who is a shop, they would do all the things online in a modular manner and effectively. That's what they do. They launched in Philippines. They've been successful there. Ransnet is a Singapore-based company which has now expanded to the region. They offer Wi-Fi solutions. And NetWeb is a homebred Indian company in HPC, high performance computing. They went listing about 2 months ago on NASDAQ, and they raised about 900 crores from the market. So these are some success stories of people who have effectively used channels and understand channels as a go-to market. All right. What does your playbook look like? Many people have playbooks here, but does your playbook look like anything like this? I know you are taking pictures. Don't bother taking pictures. I'm going to send you the slides. The slides are meant for you. So ask me questions. Why does a playbook look like this? What are the elements that you need to cover? So this is a playbook of one of the most successful homebred Indian solution companies, which is not listed as yet, but they are giving Microsoft a run for money. This is what their playbook looks like. Now, if you look at the aspects of playbook, they have even defined different types of channels that they use. So they have a consulting partner program, affiliate program, marketplace program, value-added reseller program, and a distribution program. And I'll take you through the consulting partner program, what it looks like. Just go through the various aspects of what they cover. Partners help generate nearly 32% of their business. Important part. Benefits of the playbook. This is a very superficial level. Okay. I want to do a little exercise with all of you, those who are keen to do an exercise, and if there's anything that you've learned from what I've said. How many of you are keen to do a little exercise, a 5 to 10 minutes exercise with me? Please raise your hands. Just a 5 to 10 minutes exercise. Great. All of those who are keen to do exercise, can I ask them to come on the front here, and the rest who don't want to do, can they move back, please? Can we do that, please? Please get up and come on the front. And those who are not interested in doing the exercise can go back. I'm not saying don't participate, but I'm saying is you can be spectators. All right, we'll refer to this slide here, and we will build groups of 5 people here. So the ones who are interested are the first 3 rows. Just raise your hands, the ones who are going to be doing the exercise. So first 3 rows, okay? So each row has an average of 5 people. 5. Can I request the 3 of you to come here? Just come on this row here. So you'll be 5. 5. Are you joining? No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Now each row, can we just nominate one leader? Just raise a hand as a leader. Anyone who wants to be a leader? Okay. In your row, leader. Leader, okay. Leader, great. Leader, great. Leader, okay. Your name, please. Farzan. Faizi. Faizi, okay. Leader, your name? George. Leader? Lal. Lal, okay. Your name? Faiz. Faiz? Ramin. Ramin. Okay. Okay, can I request you guys, any of you, okay, all of you have products and solutions. Between the 5 of you, just pick up one of your solutions and write a playbook for me in 10 points. What all should your playbook include? Easy? Just any one of you, amongst you, you decide which solution you want to take, because all of you have solutions. All of you have solutions. Just take one solution, make a consensus, and give us 10 points of what your playbook should look like. Clear? Clear? One product. You can move your chairs if you want. One product, 10 points of what your playbook should look like. Right? Come, why don't you make a round group, all of you? And in 10 minutes, yes, in 10 minutes, we will talk about your playbook. Thank you. All right, we have 3 more minutes to go. And we have 5 teams that will be presenting their playbooks. All right, the time is up. So can we come back to your places, please? And we will start off with the presentations. So we are going to give you each, we are going to give each team 2 minutes to come on the stage and present their playbook. The format is very simple. You will come and present your name, the leader's name, the name of the company, what you do, and then the GTM playbook, go to market playbook. Clear? Are we clear? Done? Great. So let's start off with the team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4 and team 5 in that order. All right. So can I welcome you? Faiz. Faiz, yeah. Faiz, you have 2 minutes.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon. So today I represent an assessment platform called Evalgator. The problem most of the enterprises have today is how do they quickly recruit the right person? Because hiring the right person requires a lot of steps, right, in terms of asking the right set of questions, evaluation, and so forth. So think about a ready-made platform which can be given as a toolkit to any enterprises for quick evaluation of the right candidate. So I think it's very clear our end customers are enterprises, small, medium, large. Our direct channel is to onboard them directly. Okay, and we will provide them, first of all, a data of all the students that are there in the platform. 2, we will also provide them an assessment criteria based on the specific skill set. So these are the 2 inputs along with the platform that we provide to enterprises. So this is our direct channel at this point. However, we also need to have channel partners. We also anticipate that these enterprises need not necessarily come to us directly. Enterprises usually want to work with their preferred consulting, HR consulting vendors. So we would love to partner with HR consulting vendors who can sell the platform on behalf of us to their end customers. Additionally, when we talk about students' data, we would want to partner with the colleges who can provide this right set of data to us, which can enrich our platform and reward them for this enrichment. The alternative is also we approach institutions who can provide much more skilled data to us. And we can also partner with already sites like Naukri.com who have data of people who are already skillful, partner with them and bring them to our platform so that they can also make it to the enriched list for the enterprises. So is the time still remaining? Okay.
So Faiz, time over. You've got 1 minute grace. Just complete what you have and then we'll conclude it.
Also to reach the brand out to these enterprises, we also need to identify the right channels. So we look for associations where these enterprises are part of and try to bring the association as part of our channel network. For example, BNI, NASCOM, GTech, these are like tech consortiums where most of the enterprises are part of. So we partner with them and that gets a brand value and also incentivize them for bringing their network onto using our platform. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you, Faiz. So one thing that I'd like to ask you is, you said you need HR tech partners, HR consultants to take you to the market. Have you mapped how many HR consultants are there in a specific geo? And what are the various other solutions that they're selling? Has that been mapped by you? Because that's the first step. Secondly, what is your messaging, the one-line messaging on the problem that you solve? So, you know, your one-line messaging on the problem that you solve, and secondly, how are you mapping these HR consulting partners? I think that's the way to start with this playbook. That will be the way to go. And then the other factors can come into play. Yep. Thank you so much. Yep. Yep. So team 2, you have 2 minutes. I'll remind you after 2 minutes and we'll give you one more grace. All right. So same format, start with your name, the solution, and if you have a one-line solution name or you know what problem you're solving, and then from there the GTM playbook. Yep. Thank you.
So my name is Ramin. So our product is single vendor, ready-made single vendor e-commerce systems for businesses. Okay, so our sale model is through channel partners, but the specific channel partners are partners who have already have an inventory solution. So we link our e-commerce system with their inventory solution. So how we find partners is through social media marketing and through referrals. So whenever someone refers us to a partner, they continuously get a certain percentage of the sales made by that particular partner. So what are the next we say what are the partner benefits? So usually many of the companies only have an inventory system or they have an ERP system. They don't have an e-commerce system along with them. They will be having clients. So we'll provide our solution to be integrated with their e-commerce system so that the client won't have to look for a separate vendor for this e-commerce, and so that they will have a single unit working, that e-commerce and ERP would be working as a single unit. So what the benefit for the partners are, we'll provide them with all the technical training and everything so that they could present this to the customers and they could explain what's the benefit, and it will be how it is easily, how it could be easily linked to the inventory system, so they don't have to make any changes into existing business. And okay, next is the loyalty program for customers. We provide 24/7 support for customer, and there will be a support ticket system for both the customers as well as for the channel partners. So both can, directly get support from us. Thank you.
Should get brownie points for 2 minutes, you know. Okay, just stay back, please. So you have an inventory management system. Okay, so you're providing an e-commerce system for people who have inventory management systems, right? So your partners are partners who are currently selling inventory management systems. Okay. And how are you mapping these partners? Is it, how are you finding these partners?
Social media marketing and referral programs.
Okay, so you're mapping these partners through social media and referral programs. Okay. Have you decided on what sort of margins these partners should get?
It varies based on the, the location. Maybe for some it would be 15%, for some it would be 20%.
Okay, and is it only one tier structure or are you going to have multiple tier structure for the partners?
It will be a single tier.
Single tier structure. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you. Team 3. Can we have the team 3 please? Yeah, yeah.
Good evening. We have a team of 4. All the 5 have 5 different solutions, and out of that we selected one. This is a solution for personalized products for kids, like name slips, storybooks, etc. This is for KG students and lower is primary class students. So we have made a playbook with the 10 points just to how to market this product, this personalized kits. So first of all, we find out that we for selling this product we should have a good brand name, which should be easy to remember by kids, so that they will remember this product. And this is the first point. Second point, yeah, yes, tagline is TADA, TADA, TADA. This is the product's tagline, brand. Tagline, we did not find out any tagline. So the second point, to market this, we need to find out a channel partner. The selection of channel partner is the second point. So this we need to find out. The third point is age group. To which age group we are going to focus, where to sell this. Then fourth one is territory. In which territory? Because there are cultural differences. The culture in Kerala and culture in Tamil Nadu is different. So each parent, of course, they will, if we are selling a storybook, they will see what kind of content in that storybook. So the territory is very important when we are creating contents for this type of products. Then the income group, that is another point to concern. The other one is what are the contents? We should have a content to enhance the cultural development of the kids. If such a content is available in this book, parents will be very interested to buy this. Then quality of printing materials. That is another important point, because these products are being handled by kids. It should not affect their health. So we should use quality printing materials. Then for marketing, we can use social media or any referral program will be beneficial. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, so the two things that came across to me was, I think the messaging was missing initially. The messaging was missing. And secondly, you did not identify who your channel partner would be. That had to be identified clearly. So I think those are the building blocks for a playbook. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have the team 4 now, please? Yes, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is George and I'm the founder and director of Metric Tree Labs based out of Cochin and London. Um, the problem that we primarily try to solve is that we work with a lot of startups who does not have a technology co-founder to launch their minimum viable products into the market right from their concept stage, and also from the UX design also to the final go-to-market phase. We also work with a lot of enterprises. The enterprises case, their primary technology team would be busy with their product priorities. So we get in there, try to launch their new product initiatives into the market. So the first step to identify such leads that we do is that we work with similar consultants who have like micro teams across the globe. We also do a lot of paid ads and organic SEO through which we get a lot of SEO. So those are the two primary channels that we use. Then once we get the leads, we have a sales process that works internally, try to work with these kind of companies, try to understand their problem statement, and then we propose a solution. So that is the initial phase. I don't have 10 points, but that is the initial steps in our pipeline identification.
So your channel in this case is consultants.
Consultants. And also we run ads as well.
Correct. So that becomes your primary
channel, yes.
And then your playbook should be defined along the lines of consultants. How do you engage with them? What margins
Correct,
you give them?
Correct.
You know, who and participates in the journey, whether they face the customer or you face the customer, who does the delivery, you know, all of those things have to be defined. So that's where your playbook builds. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the next team, please. Can we have team number 5, please?
Hi, good afternoon. Myself Icy, and I am representing Interval Individual Tuition. Our company is our vision of our company is to provide personalized attention to make an individual his actual protection. We all studied in a classroom of 13 to 40 students minimum. Then we reach this height. If a student get individual attention, he will reach its maximum potential. That's our vision. Our company has now completed 25,000 students has completed their study, and also we are servicing 30 plus countries till now. Our customer journey is we collect leads from digital marketing, influencer marketing, and referral systems, and by collaborating with schools. After we get the leads, our team will sort out the leads, and we will do an assessment test to find the talents, the skills of the student, and give him a personalized solution. Our go-to marketplace is mostly our marketing is done to digital marketing through social media, performance marketing, and through Google Ads and many paid ads. Also, we also use the power of influencer marketing. Like most of us will buy products from influencer marketing. As we collect leads from that. Also, we choose a referral system from our existing staffs, team members, and also from the existing customers. We do cross-selling, upselling according to that. Our revenue model is we collect a free from the students. That's our revenue model.
Okay, so just one point. What is your messaging? That one-line messaging that you have?
So our vision.
Yeah, mission or messaging that you get.
Okay, to provide personalized attention to make an individual to achieve his maximum potential.
Okay, that's very long. I think that can be shortened. Secondly, your channel here is educational institutes, schools. Are they your channels?
Yes, our customers are students from kindergarten to 12. We provide personalized attention to, that means tuition to the students. That means if a student is weak in maths, he will give more preference to the maths, and we will teach him. In schools, just a teacher cannot give attention to every single student is not possible. But in which case, our vision is one teacher for one student. So he can get the maximum attention, we can.
So if the educational institutes are your channel, do you have an incentive structure for them?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
The educational institutes, you use them as a channel.
Yes,
Do you have an incentive structure for them in place?
yes, yes. We have
Okay.
referral bonus.
You have referral points. Okay. All right. That's it. I think you've spelled it out. Thank you so much. Yep. I think we will be ending our session now. I want to thank you all for your participation and your contribution. I know the workshops have not been very fruitful, but this is just an exercise to make you start thinking. In 5 minutes, you can't build a playbook. It needs a lot more time to think. But we are going to be sharing some of these slides with you. So if you need any more help on building playbooks, or if you need any exercise that you want to go through, please feel free to engage with us. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Ashish, thank you so much. And since you said it have to need a little bit more time, but I understand. So we have a small token of love from Kerala Starter Mission. So I would love to hand over to you.